One Nation has officially redefined Australian politics for, I think it's safe to say, forever. Look, the South Australian election is not over yet. There's still a lot of vote counting and preference flows that need to be taken into account. But right now, I will read to you what has come out earlier today. One Nation, for the first time, I'm pretty sure in history in state and territory elections, has finally won a lower house seat, taking it from Labour MP, surprisingly. They've also most likely going to win 3 upper house seats, electing Corey Bernardi and Carlos Corumba, and most likely a third one. So the first 2 are guaranteed. And the Liberal Party has sunk into a new low of currently guaranteed 4 seats. And there's a few seats that I want to keep an eye on that could quite possibly go over to One Nation. Now, I'm going to read out the current standings of the percentage. The first preferences. Look, the Labor Party, of course, landslide. I don't want to really focus on the Labor Party. I want to focus on the right side of politics here. The Labor Party winning last night with 37.8% of the primary vote. The One Nation Party in second place on 22%, and Ashton Hearn with the Liberal Party in third on 19.2%. Ashton Hearn did manage to hold on to her seat. Former leader Vincent Tarzia did not manage to hold on to his seat and came, I think, third in total. And funnily enough, David Spears wasn't able to hold on to his seat, the former Liberal leader who was videoed snorting cocaine. So that's... Yes, he did run as an independent for his seat of Black, but he was unsuccessful in that. In the upper house, I will quickly read out to you what is happening. Let me just take a look at... So the House of Assembly is guaranteed One Nation is on 1 seat. The opposition guaranteed Liberal Party 4, and the government Labor Party guaranteed 32. In the upper house, the Legislative Council, it currently looks like this. One Nation winning guaranteed 2, possible 3. And the Liberal Party winning 2, and the Labor Party winning 4. So look, that's quite interesting to see. And let's take a look at some of these seats changing hands. Vincent Tarzia's seat has gone to Jen Roberts of Labor. David Patton from One Nation has taken Penny Pratt's seat. And the few seats that I want to keep an eye on, because the vote counting still hasn't stopped yet. They're still going. A few seats in particular. McKillop, where One Nation is ahead by 300 votes. Hammond, where One Nation is likely to win. They are currently leading by around 1.5k votes. 1.5k. And the next seat of Noongar, where One Nation is ahead with Chantel Thomas, but they're only ahead by just around 100 votes. But look, it's quite possible that One Nation wins all those, taking them from the Liberal Party, and then they'll be tied with One Nation on 4 seats in the House of Assembly and the Liberal Party on 4 seats in the House of Assembly, which, look, let's face it, it's most likely that the Liberal Party will remain in opposition because they do have more seats in the Legislative Council, and I think that's a better arguing point to when they have to argue if it gets to that point. But look, One Nation with Corey Bernardi, congratulations to them. I think that they've redefined politics. I think Pauline Hanson, I loved her speech last night listening to that. I was watching the ABC's election coverage, and I actually really did like that. I'm not usually a person to watch the ABC's election coverage, but I think they had some good things to say. They crossed to a few people. Nick McBride was one of them, and he had some good things to say. Unfortunately, he did not retain his seat. What was his seat? I'll get onto that in a second. But look, I got to say, Pauline Hanson, her departing words from the stage of One Nation HQ last night, she said, and I'm pretty sure, quote, she said, mate, I've got some landmines and they're One Nation MPs, so don't step on them. And I love that. So that was directed to the Premier, Peter Malinauskas, securing a second term of government. So congratulations to all the incredible results and MPs that have been elected, and my condolences to those who have lost their seats, most of which will be Liberal MPs. I think the odd one was that provisional seat, which went to One Nation. And it was one. I'm pretty sure that that was held by a Labor MP from what I'm last seeing here. But look, the Greens did have a stronger result, plus 2%. Liberal Party down 16.9. One Nation plus 19. And funnily enough, the Labor Party didn't have a huge swing to them. Actually, minus 0.9. So it looks like the Labour Party, that went sort of to the Greens, and the whole right side of politics collapsing in on itself, with the Liberal Party just most of the Liberal Party votes just going over to One Nation. So, look, the next few days will prove difficult for the Liberal Party, but look, as the counting goes on, I want to stress, nothing is guaranteed yet, everyone. The counting is still going on, and I'm so excited to see what happens next. And look, we do have the Farrer by-election coming up, which I'm really excited to see. Look, we've got Michelle Milthorpe, the Climate 200 backed independent. You've got David Farley running for One Nation, and I think though it'll be just between those two. Labor's not running a candidate, and I don't think that the Liberal candidate I don't think she'll be quite a serious contender. I think looking between David Farley and Michelle Milthorpe, it'll be between just those two. The only opinion poll that we actually have has put the One Nation Party in first place in first preferences, and of course the independent Michelle Milthorpe on second place, and only a 5% difference between those two in late 20% around there. So look, nothing is guaranteed. I'm so excited for the future of politics. This is such an amazing time to be into politics, and I am so grateful to be a part of this Biz Politics podcast.